Is Hollywood's glitz and glam hiding the stories that haven't been told? Behind the red carpet lies a world of raw emotion, where love and identity must fight through deep-seated prejudice. Today we aren't just looking at glamorous roles. We're exploring the people who use their own lives to reshape history. If you're captivated by these extraordinary stories, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0 and tell us why. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss these mind-blowing stories. Now let's uncover the secrets that have never been revealed. Tyler Perry didn't just build film studios, he built cathedrals of redemption. Born in the turbulent soil of New Orleans, his childhood was a mournful melody, marked by pauses of deprivation and harsh collisions with circumstance. Yet it was in that deepest darkness that he found light through words. Writing was not merely a habit, it was a healing therapy, a way for him to converse with himself when the outside world seemed to have turned its back. The birth of an iconic figure, a strong, decisive woman who never backs down, became the shield that protected Perry's art. Through that character, he transformed personal pain into laughter and lessons for millions. From cramped theater stages to owning a vast film empire, Perry proved that when you take ownership of your own story, you take ownership of your destiny. Yet amid the heights of power and wealth, the world has always been curious about the silences behind the doors of his private life. Perry chose a dignified quiet. He does not define himself by the labels society tries to impose, but expresses his identity through devotion to the community and quiet acts of humanity. His refusal to be boxed into any gendered or social mold is not an act of evasion, but a declaration of the ultimate right to privacy. He stands as proof that an individual can shine brilliantly without laying bare every hidden corner of the soul to prying eyes. Tyrese Gibson's journey is not merely a rise within Hollywood, but the voyage of a soul endlessly seeking recognition in a world crowded with harsh judgments. Emerging from the unforgiving streets of Watts, California, where dreams are often suffocated by reality, Tyrese used his voice as a means of self-liberation. The moment he sang on a bus in the legendary commercial at age 16 was not just the beginning of a career, it was the first crack in the wall separating a poor boy from international stardom. With a voice steeped in both heartbreak and hope, Tyrese reached the deepest layers of R&B, a space where male vulnerability is laid bare, yet carried with pride. However, as he stepped into cinema through gritty roles and breathless action blockbusters, the world began to raise skeptical questions. In a society where masculinity is often confined within armor-like emotional detachment, Tyrese's willingness to show sensitivity, compassion, and deep emotional bonds with other men made him the focal point of relentless speculation about his gender identity. Rather than choosing to retreat, Tyrese confronted public scrutiny with an almost radical transparency. He did not shy away from exposing the wounds of failed marriages or his quiet battles with the darkness of depression. Many saw this openness as a direct challenge to outdated norms in which black men are expected to appear invulnerable at all times. The doubts about his gender identity may simply be the public's attempt to decode a man who dares to cry, dares to stumble, and dares to love with purity in front of the media's unblinking lens. Behind the pages of life philosophy books and high-profile business ventures, Tyrese remains a devoted father, seeing his children as the sole safe harbor amidst the turbulent seas of fame. His story is a lesson in redefining strength. True strength does not lie in having an unblemished heart, but in the courage to live authentically with every facet of one's emotions, even when it invites the world's doubt. Tyrese Gibson is not just a star, he is proof that in art and in life, authenticity is the only ticket to immortality. Donnie McClurkin possessed one of the most powerful voices in gospel music, a soothing sound capable of mending broken souls. However, behind those sacred, faith-driven melodies lay a life shaped by the deepest wounds of the past. Growing up surrounded by harsh childhood experiences, music for McClurkin was more than just a performance art. It was a spiritual fortress, a refuge where he found solace in the face of fate's storms. His journey is a vivid symbol of the intense conflict between religious belief and complex inner feelings. By bravely acknowledging his past identity struggles, McClurkin forced the world to witness an unprecedented dialogue between the solemn church and the fraught with complexities of real life. Instead of choosing the easy path to please the masses, he chose to stand at the very center of the conflict. He redefined his pain through the lens of healing, transforming controversial experiences into a profound human journey of self-reflection and redemption. Despite facing conflicting opinions from many sides, McClurkin remained steadfast in his single mission to convey hope. Through his triumphs over terminal illnesses and near-death experiences, he transformed his life into a living sermon of unwavering resilience. He demonstrated to us that true faith is not a smooth road, but a journey through valleys of doubt to find ultimate reconciliation with oneself. His legacy is not just hymns, but the story of a soul that dared to confront darkness in order to find the light of truth. Eric Marlin Bishop, admired worldwide under the name Jamie Foxx, is not just an artist. He is a magical entity, transforming across the highest echelons of art. From the lively rhythms of stand-up comedy to his transcendent portrayals of musical legends, Foxx has proven that the only boundary to creativity is the imagination. He does not merely imitate a role, he fully enters worlds of imperfection to discover the brightest light of artistic expression. His profound empathy allows him to reach emotions few can touch, turning every performance into an unprecedented, soulful experience. Yet, in an environment like Hollywood, where the demand for transparency can be ruthless, Jamie Foxx has chosen his own path: absolute silence. Rumors about his identity or the hidden corners of his personal life are like fleeting winds against the fortress he has painstakingly built to protect his selfhood. Foxx understands a profound truth: a star's ultimate power sometimes lies not in what they reveal to the camera, but in the secrets they keep for themselves. That silence is not evasion. It is a proud, self-directed act of preserving the authenticity of a human being. His silence in the face of media storms is a declaration of preserving personal values in the digital age. After overcoming serious health challenges, Foxx returned with renewed strength, a living testament that life is a continuous series of rebirths from the ashes. He has taught us a priceless lesson: an artist can dedicate their full talent to humanity, yet still retain the ultimate right to keep the key to the secret room called personal truth. Foxx's legacy is not just measured in awards, but in the respect he commands for the sacred boundaries of the human soul. Wanda Sykes stands as a powerful testament to how comedy can become one of the sharpest tools for uncovering social truths. Coming from a disciplined government background, she brought that analytical mindset into the entertainment world, turning everyday absurdities into profound lessons hidden behind laughter. The moment Wanda stood before a crowd in 2008 to affirm her true identity was not just a personal milestone, it was a seismic shock to the entertainment industry. At 44, when many would choose comfort within a safe zone, she chose freedom. She has become a voice for Black women, for the LGBT community, and for all those yearning to live authentically. Through humor, Sykes forces audiences to confront the most sensitive issues of race and gender without breeding hatred. She transforms life's hidden corners into topics that can be discussed and even laughed about. Wanda Sykes' legacy is not only measured in prestigious awards, but in the courage to declare that authenticity is not just a right, it is a revolution capable of changing the hearts of an entire generation. Marsai Martin is more than just a rising star. She is a great architect redefining the power structure in Hollywood. Emerging from Texas with a sharp intellect that transcends the limits of age, she has transformed the screen into a playground of assertiveness and strategic vision. Setting the record as the youngest executive producer in film history at just 14 years old is not merely an impressive achievement. It's a powerful statement of self-determination. Marsai has proven to the world that the new generation doesn't need permission to take control of their destiny and build their own artistic empires. Amidst the dazzling spotlight of early success, Marsai was not immune to the waves of public opinion and speculation about her personal identity that often surround young stars. However, instead of getting caught up in endless cycles of self-justification, she chose a regal approach, deliberate silence. Marsai understood that each individual's identity is a private sanctuary that needs to be protected. She used her outstanding works and community support as a powerful response. Refusing to let social labels define her was her way of protecting her absolute freedom and becoming a source of inspiration for young people yearning to find themselves. By 2025, at age 21, Marsai Martin will stand as an icon of tolerance and forward-thinking vision. She's not just telling individual stories. She's striving to create a sustainable ecosystem where truth and self-determination are celebrated as core values. Her journey is a powerful testament that true strength doesn't lie in explaining or justifying oneself to the masses, but in steadfastly building a world where we truly belong. Marsai Martin is a beacon for a new generation of leaders decisive. Brandon Kyle Goodman is a phenomenon of authenticity, an artist who has transformed his life into a work of art about liberation. Growing up surrounded by rigid expectations and gender-based silence, he chose to use words and acting to break free from those psychological shackles. Through his moving performances and voice, Goodman is not just performing. He is performing a healing ritual for souls that once felt forgotten. His memoir is a manifesto about embracing life's chaos to find one's truest self. He doesn't separate art from societal upheavals. For Goodman, laughter only truly has value when it accompanies an awakening to justice and human dignity. His viral videos about the experiences of a gay black man amidst social storms have transformed him into a profound cultural commentator who dares to look directly into the dark corners of discrimination in search of the light of understanding. In 2025, Goodman continues to stand as a beacon for the intersection of identities. He teaches us that no one should ever have to hide any part of themselves just to be accepted. His legacy is a quiet yet fierce revolution, one where vulnerability is celebrated as a supreme power. Brandon Kyle Goodman proves that when we dare to step into our true selves without apology, we don't just exist. We build a more inclusive world for everyone. Supreme power or just pure chaos? Who is Brandon Kyle Goodman really in your eyes? Drop a 2 in the comments if you believe he is a guiding light. Drop a 5 if you see it differently. Hit like and subscribe right now so you don't miss the intense content coming your way. Colman Domingo was more than just an actor. He was an artistic entity capable of transforming his form to touch the deepest layers of humanity. With Caribbean roots running through his veins and a career honed on philosophical theatrical stages, he brought a new concept of authenticity to Hollywood. From characters struggling with the darkness of addiction to civil rights, leaders, Domingo always breathed life into his performances with resilience and self-respect. Unlike those who choose to hide behind a velvet curtain, Colman Domingo walks the world with proud openness. His enduring marriage and transparency about his gender identity are not just a personal choice, but a revolutionary act in an industry with a long history of imposing concealment on Black men. He broke down invisible barriers by proving that authenticity does not diminish an actor's appeal. On the contrary, it is... Beyond his acting career, Domingo is also a cultural conservator, using his pen and directorial vision to celebrate often forgotten historical values. In 2025, he will stand at the peak of his career as a beacon for the younger generation of artists. He teaches us that success never comes from cutting oneself to fit into society's mold, but from accepting all aspects, whether dark or bright, to create a unique and complete masterpiece of life. Kevin Aviance is more than just an artist. He is a phenomenon of powerful resurgence, an icon of using art to challenge prejudice. Emerging from a tradition of strict faith into the dazzling lights of New York, Aviance transformed his height and appearance into a sanctuary of freedom. With his towering high heels and avant-garde makeup, he wasn't just performing drag, he was revolutionizing form and identity, blurring the lines between harsh reality and the radiant illusion of art. However, Aviance's true value lies not only in his chart-topping dance tracks, but in his resilience after a devastating tragedy in 2006. The brutal attack on his identity may have crushed a fragile heart, but for Aviance, it was the catalyst for him to return stronger than ever. He transformed his physical wounds into symbols of survival, declaring to the world that By 2025, Aviance's influence had transcended underground dance floors to merge into the global pop music scene. The fact that contemporary music legends sought out his voice was a belated but well-deserved recognition for a pioneer. Kevin Aviance proves that when an individual dares to live authentically and brilliantly, they not only shape culture but also become an enduring source of hope for all those struggling to be themselves. Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman is a testament to subtle sensitivity and courage in an industry that often forces people to choose between identities. Growing up as a Black man in a predominantly white environment and a sensitive soul in rigid gender-biased settings, Jeffrey learned early on to engage in dialogue with alienation. He didn't choose to withdraw, but instead used that very difference to create deeply nuanced performances on screen. Jeffrey's career has been a relentless pursuit of authentic representation for his community. However, that journey has not been a bed of roses. He has faced the raging waves of hatred and racism, even in places that seemed safest. Jeffrey's decision to leave these toxic environments to protect his mental health was not a retreat, but a powerful act of self-respect. He reminds us that presence only has meaning when it is accompanied by respect and understanding. As of 2025, Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman stands there as a proud survivor. Through his films and profound conversations about spirituality and self, he created a space where vulnerability is seen as a kind of strength. His legacy is a lesson in self-love, that authenticity, even in the face of the world's cruelty, remains the most enduring beacon guiding those seeking. Jeremy Pope doesn't just appear on stage, he conquers it with a luminous and powerful presence. Rising from Florida soil, he brought his burning ambition to the hallowed halls of Broadway, where he made history with some of the most prestigious nominations. Jeremy doesn't just play gay black men, he breathes their pain and longing into every fiber of his being, transforming fictional stories into vivid statements about existence. Upon entering the world of cinema, he continued to use his talent to challenge a system designed to erase diverse identities. Jeremy's performances are a sophisticated blend of technical excellence and authentic experience, making him one of the few who dare to use success as a testament to courage. He proves that the most brilliant presence doesn't come from blending into the crowd, but from creating unique values. Karamo Brown's journey is a symbol of resilience and boundless compassion. A pioneer in the world of reality television when prejudices were deeply ingrained, he transformed his presence into a revolution in awareness. Karamo didn't just appear to perform, he appeared to heal. As a former psychologist, he understood that the deepest wounds often stem from not being able to live authentically. Karamo's life is a symphony of ups and downs, from facing family harshness to shouldering the challenging role of fatherhood under extraordinary circumstances. He transformed personal trials into wisdom, guiding millions to rediscover self-confidence and hope. He didn't just change people's appearances, he changed how they saw their own souls. In 2025, Karamo will stand there as a beacon of compassion, reminding us that authenticity is the most powerful medicine to unite lost hearts. Daryl Stevens was a quiet but steadfast trailblazer who laid the groundwork for the presence of gay black men on mainstream television. With a deep understanding of sociology and culture, Daryl didn't choose superficial roles. He chose characters that embodied the spirit of the times. His iconic roles became a mirror where thousands saw for the first time a true reflection of themselves, sensitive, warm, and deeply human. Daryl didn't pursue fame through fanfare. He chose steadfastness to his identity, using his pen and acting to challenge the boundaries of Hollywood. He proved that an artist's existence isn't measured solely by awards, but by how they've changed the worldview of their audience. Daryl Stevens' legacy is a testament to this. When you dare to tell your story with all sincerity, you're not just acting, you're revolutionizing presence. Jerrod Carmichael is one of the most audacious artists of the 21st century who has transformed the comedy stage into a truth-checking chamber. For him, laughter is not the ultimate goal. It is a means to expose profound contradictions of faith, race, and identity. The moment he shed his comedian mask to reveal the truth about himself to millions of viewers is one of the most shocking moments in popular culture. Jerrod's courage came at a heavy price, the fracturing of his closest relationships. But it was in the pain of his solitude that he found the strength to create raw and breathtakingly honest works of art. He wasn't afraid to challenge institutions or confront the most uncomfortable truths. In 2025, Jerrod Carmichael will stand as a symbol of liberation, proving that silence can offer a false sense of security, but only honesty truly liberates the soul. Billy Porter is more than just a performance artist. He is a brilliant symbol of spiritual and visual liberation. After decades of enduring silently within an industry rife with invisible prejudices, Porter transformed his own body into an uncompromising artistic battlefield. For him, each garment is not merely fabric or silk, but a suit of ideological armor, crafted to directly confront rigid norms of gender and race. He transformed the red carpet into a sanctuary where outdated concepts were shattered to make way for the proud presence of self. The brilliant rise to prominence in the later stages of his career is a powerful testament to the strength of unwavering perseverance. Through his powerful and iconic roles, Porter has brought a completely new definition to the concept of a guide. He doesn't choose to hide behind the spotlight. Instead, he bravely exposes the wounds of his past and his arduous health struggles to ignite hope in those lost in the darkness of stigma. Every word, every glance carries the weight of a soul that has weathered storms but still retains its yearning for freedom. As we enter 2025, Billy Porter stands there as a god of truth, a living artistic entity, reminding us of the ultimate value of authenticity. His journey is a profound educational lesson about breaking down the invisible cages that society has imposed on individuals. He demonstrates that the greatest brilliance of a life truly bursts forth when one is brave enough to live a life without regret, without concealment. Porter's legacy lies not only in his prestigious awards, but in his revolutionary spirit, an eternal beacon guiding those who yearn to break free from their shackles and step into the light. Jussie Smollett's journey is more than just a career in entertainment. It's a complex symphony of innate talent and relentless public scrutiny. Emerging from the dazzling spotlight of television musical masterpieces, he was once seen as a symbol of hope, an icon of a generation of artists who dared to confront the world with their authentic selves. Smollett created a powerful allure where every note and frame blended together, forging a unique artistic language to express the deepest desires for understanding and connection between people. However, his life is also a profound documentary lesson about the weight of the crown of fame and the invisible pitfalls of excessive attention. Amidst the ups and downs and variables of time that shook the media, Smollett became a focal point, forcing us to reflect on the fragile boundary between personal truth and reality shaped by the public eye. He is proof that an individual can become an icon, but also simultaneously suffer suffocating pressure when their private identity is scrutinized by society as a whole, where every action is interpreted in different ways. Whether at the height of his career or facing the depths of doubt, Smollett's journey remains a powerful reminder of the harsh realities behind the curtain. In a volatile entertainment ecosystem, preserving one's integrity is sometimes far more difficult than achieving a career-defining role. His story opens a dialogue about resilience that in a world demanding absolute transparency, maintaining one's true self and learning to rise from the shattered pieces of fame is the greatest test for a genuine artist. If there's anyone who dares to redraw the map of popular culture with the boldest and most unconventional colors, it's Lil Nas X. Emerging from the digital world with a genius instinct for connection, he has shattered the last vestiges of conservatism in music and visual art. Lil Nas X is not simply a performer. He is a brilliant director of large-scale cultural events, capable of transforming societal psychological barriers into liberating performances. He has turned his presence into a visual revolution, where every step redefines the boundaries of creativity. Lil Nas X's journey is a courageous expedition into the realm of absolute freedom, where traditional symbols of gender and race are reshaped to serve a single personal truth. He confronts the attacks with sharp wit and dismantles prejudices with boundless creativity. Instead of hiding, he chooses to engage with the world through challenging artistic symbols, proving that individual identity is a living entity, never subdued by outdated stereotypes. By 2025, Lil Nas X had become a solid icon for the concept of self-liberation in the new era. He was living proof of a powerful truth. When you are brave enough to challenge narrow-minded prejudices, you simultaneously become the brightest dream for souls yearning for freedom. His legacy is not just global hits, but an awakening for an entire generation, reminding us that true brilliance only emerges when people dare to cast aside all fears to live fully in their most authentic selves. 20 people, 20 journeys, but united by a common spirit of resilience. From elders silently enduring in the shadows to young people daring to shine brightly in the sunlight, they have together woven a complete picture of Black excellence. We celebrate not only their successes but also their tears, their inner struggles, and their courage to live authentically. Thank you for being with us. Keep standing true to yourself, for that is the greatest art you can create. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your thoughts. Who on this list has been the most inspiring person for you?